Welcome everyone. Welcome once again. So welcome everyone. We appreciate you joining the live session for our webinar. If you are actually hearing me very well, please let me know. I'm going to actually be working together with Rasheedat Yusuf, who is going to be our guest speaker. But before we actually have her on board, I would like everyone to let me know if they are seeing my audio or seeing my video. Please, if you could see my video, let me know. If you could hear me on the call, let me know. You are joining on Google Meet, while others are joining from YouTube. So if I'm audible, please let me know. If I'm audible, let me please know. It's very important I know so that I know that yes, we are communicating. So can everyone hello everyone, welcome once again. The time is by my time 5 p.m. right now. If you could hear me on the YouTube live, let me know. If you could hear me as well on the Google Meet, let me know. Am I audible enough? Okay, can everyone hear me? I think the audio is quite good now. All right. Welcome everyone once again to our webinar session for Relocate to Canada as Unmarried Partners. And today I'm going to be having our guest speaker join us, Rasheedat Yusuf, the person of Rasheedat Yusuf. But before she actually comes on board, I would like to kind of give some basic intro or introduction towards our upcoming webinar. So, as most of you could, some that have actually joined us for some time now that have been joining us for our regular webinar Q&As and even that of the monthly webinars we have been having, you notice that sometimes I would actually anchor the webinar or I would have guest speakers that we have actually worked with in the past come and educate you on different topics about Canada immigration. So today is not going to be different. Today we are going to be having one of our staff members, past staff members, and likewise clients who was able to actually relocate to Canada as an unmarried couple. But I'm not going to be talking much about her. I would like her to do much of the talking. So for those that are joining through YouTube, thank you very much. I'm seeing people joining already. I'm seeing that we are having some people watching on YouTube live. And for those on our Google Meet platform, thank you very much. So without wasting much time, I would go off the video right now. And Miss Rasheedat Yusuf, please just to confirm, are you already available, ma? Can you hear me? Am I audible? Can you see me?
Yes, I can.
All right. Thank you very much, ma. So straight to her without wasting much time. Let's add to the talking while um we hear from her.
Mm. All right. Can everyone see me and can everyone hear my voice? Thank you very much. Thank you. I really appreciate. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Aziz Olayiwaju, for giving me this opportunity to talk here today. I am so excited to be here today. So, hello everyone, and welcome once again to this webinar. My name is Rasheedat Yusuf, and I am an IELTS coach. Thank you all for taking the time to join us today as I will talk about relocate to Canada as unmarried couples. So, today we will be looking at who is Rasheedat, the reason I chose to migrate to Canada, and my experience while I was seeking admission in Nigeria. How I got to know about AOS Group, how I got to know about AOS Group, and okay, this is not the slide. All right, how I got to know about AOS Group, and I became one of their clients, and also I chose to work with them. We're going to be talking about the four types of people that migrate to Canada, the meaning of common law and who is common law, what cohabitation means, and what common law in Canada means. And lastly, we're looking at the AOS immigration service. So now, Rasheedat, I am an experienced IELTS coach with a demonstrated history of working in the e-learning industry. I have taught several students how to excel in the International English Language Testing System, which is IELTS, with at least 7 band in each skills and assessed in accordance with students' needs. All right. I also have a year experience working in graphic designing with Pixel Lab and Canva, creating tens of logos, branding, and identity illustrations and photo designs. Also, I am an upcoming software engineer. And lastly, I am a permanent resident of Canada. Although I am not in Canada yet because of some reasons I would like to keep to myself. But before the next month runs out, inshallah, I will be there. I actually thought I would be in Canada before the 22nd of April, but I couldn't. And I asked AOS Group to change the date to today for those of us that knew. Yeah, because on that um last week was 22nd of April, which was our Eid, and we Muslims were still celebrating our Eid. And today I thought I would have been there, but unfortunately I couldn't make it. So till next month, inshallah. So I will be traveling to Canada as a permanent resident with just my secondary school certificate. So you are free to call me a Nigerian Canadian. I know some of you will have been wondering how I became a permanent resident without having a BSc and the likes. I just had my secondary school certificates. Well, that is why we are here today. So stay to the end of this webinar and hear the secret. All right. Um. So why migrating? Why did I migrate to Canada? Well, this is my story. I graduated from the high school, which is also known as secondary school, since the year 2016. And since then, I have been seeking admission into different universities, which was not available. I wrote my first jam in the year 2017, and I came out with 200 plus points. But then my parents told me to wait till the coming year because they were not financially buoyant enough to sponsor me. Mind you, I am not the only child of my parents. I have younger and older ones. So that year went, and the next year, which was 2018, came by. I applied again, but at this point, I was not given admission in the two schools I applied to. It wasn't too late, but then I got a job and I worked throughout that year. So in 2019, I had to retake JAM, and the same thing happened again. I applied, but I wasn't given admission, and I continued working. But this time, I quitted my previous job and find another one. So at the end of 2019, I heard of this A-level program, which was JUPEB and IJMB. So I went for the JUPEB program around January 2020 in the ancient city of Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria. I finished around September that same year, and I was waiting for the post-UTME forms of the school I applied to come out. The program I did already stand for JAMP, but the difference is just that I will gain admission into 200 level in any school of my choice. So as I was waiting for the post-UTME, I decided to take up another job. But man, it wasn't easy at all in the ancient city of Ilorin. There was no employment opportunity, and the worst part is that the jobs available are willing to pay me 5,000 naira per month. Oh wow, where is that done? Well, I prefer sleeping and eating than doing that kind of work. But it wasn't possible either, as I was very, very far from home because I actually based in Lagos and now I am in Ilorin. So I didn't give up. I continued searching for work until I came across someone that introduced me to a job, and I was working then as a receptionist and later as an administrative assistant. Not to take much of our time, I'll cut the story short. All right. So during every meeting at my workplace, we always talk about immigration one way or the other. And since then, I decided to give it a trial. I didn't even have national passports, though the pay was quite okay compared to the ones I had seen earlier. It was 10,000 naira, and as at then, the passport was 35,000 naira. So I had to work for 4 months before I could get my passport done. Although we were given some commission then, which I added up, it wasn't easy to feed myself and pay my house rent. All right. So in a nutshell, I did my passport after 4 months and I got it after 2 months. So this is and I didn't know where to start my immigration processing from, but I had that faith and I would just start from somewhere. All right. Okay. Moving on. How I heard about EOS Group. So, how did I hear about EOS Group? I was still in Ilorin thinking of how I will start this immigration journey. I just applied study visa because then all I wanted was just to go to school. But damn, the money was way too much, and that's just a no-go area for me. I was coming across schools with 20,000 Canadian dollars to 30,000 Canadian dollars for international students, which was roughly, can someone please calculate that for me, please? Mm, I think that's roughly 11 million to 17 million naira. Wow, that one just puts me off as I didn't know what to do. But guys, I cannot leave this job. I'm a real pussy Dennis. So, on the other hand, I was still working on getting admission to the University of Ilorin. Then I knew that Unilorin will actually come first because I didn't know how to go about the migrating of a thing. So I came across AOS himself in Kwara State and I booked a consultation with him. During our conversation, I explained myself to him and he said he would like to know my eligibility and the program that will suit me for migrating. He then gave me a pre-evaluation form. I filled and submitted it. After that, my pre-evaluation form, after filling and submitting the pre-evaluation form, he tried to open an express entry profile for me, but unfortunately, I can't be on the express entry profile. So he advised me to take the IELTS, which I did so. Since I had my passport already, because without passport, you can't register for IELTS. So when the results came out, I had um 6.0 and I tried to open an express entry profile again, But unfortunately, again, I can't be on the express entry profile because I didn't have a 7 plus in the IELTS, 7 points plus in the IELTS, and also I didn't have up to 3 years working experience in one job. Plus, I didn't have anybody in Canada, and I didn't have anybody in Canada. And remember that I didn't have a degree yet. I didn't have a BSc. I was just with my secondary school certificate, my SSC certificate. I was so down and I wanted to just give up and continue with Unilearning, but still I was there to gain admission into the school. So around October 2021, EOS introduced me to a program called Common Law Partner stuff. So and that's and that I can actually travel abroad with my partner. I was confused and I told him I wasn't really married. So I don't understand. Do I have to get a marriage certificate or do I have to quickly go get married or something like that? So I don't understand. That was a no-go area. I can't do that and all of that. So this is where the next slide comes in. He explained that we actually have 4 ranges of applicants that can actually apply to migrate to Canada according to the laws of immigration in Canada. And these 4 people are single, which is also known as a sole applicant. That means going to Canada alone. The next type of people are couple, the principal and the secondary applicant, that is going to Canada with your spouse. We have family of 3, 4, or more. That is the combination of husband, wife, and a child or probably children. And lastly, the common law partner. This is the last type of people which we are going to be discussing today. All right. So, um, what is common law partner? Some of us will have been wondering what common law partner means. Some of us may have come across it before, while the rest of us are just hearing it for the first time. So, legally speaking, there is no such thing as a common law partner. However, the term is coined in the media as someone who is in a long term relationship and is cohabitating with another person at the same address on a permanent basis. All right. In the Canada immigration context, a common law partnership means that two individuals have actually lived together for at least 1 year in a conjugal relationship. Please, I need you to know that a common law relationship exists from the day on which two individuals can provide evidence to support their cohabitation in conjugal relationship. All right. So I've been talking about cohabitation. What is cohabitation? Cohabitation means living together in the same residence for an extended period of time. Two people who are cohabitating have combined their affairs and set up their household together in one dwelling. All right. So to be considered common law partners, they must have cohabitated for at least a year, as I said earlier. This is the standard definition used across the federal government. It means continuous cohabitation for 1 year. It is not intermittent cohabitation that is adding up to a year. No. While cohabitation means living together continuously from time to time, one or the other partner may have left the home for work or business travel, family obligations, and so on. The separation must be temporary and short. Okay, so that was how we started the process of common law partner with the help of A.O.S. Group, and they did their very best to assist us. Though I didn't have a BSc and work experience, but my common law partner did. He has everything. He even had a high score in the IELTS. He had an 8.0 and also had a good grade in his TEF Canada, that is the exam for French speakers. He had over 5 years working experience. So again, he always gave us a pre-evaluation form. He said it will help him know which program will be suitable for us and know our eligibility. So we did that in March 2022, and he opened an express entry profile for us. I was happy. I was so happy that I was on the express entry profile. Ah, that joy. So we were still on the profile when the AOS group told us that we have received NOI from Ontario. That was around June 2022. And we also saw it on our email, and we log on to our express entry profile because they shared us our login details, and we were able to log on to the profile ourselves and see the progress, which I am sure that most of the representatives or agents will never do. They would rather do everything themselves. Yeah. So AOS Group helped us apply. They asked for some documents which we provided, and there comes the payment. Then we were asked to pay about 1,500 Canadian dollars before we would be able to submit our documents to Ontario. And then I personally, like I myself, I don't have that kind of money because how much is my salary? As at then, I was collecting about 15,000 naira per month, and we were able to pay roughly um 1,500 Canadian dollars, or sorry, we asked to pay 1,500 Canadian dollars in naira. I think that would be close to a million. Yes. In fact, my 1 year salary is not up to half of that amount. And as at then, we were in June already. Where do I start from? Hmm. That was how my common law partner and I started looking for how to raise money. A.O.S Group came in again, and they introduced us to make money and migrate to Canada. That's another package. I told him that wasn't part of the programs, and which one is make money and migrate to Canada. So he said it's their new package actually, and that we should try it first. If it would work before they start to publicize it on their hand. And through this program, I mean the MMM program, Make Money and Migrate to Canada program, that was how I was able to raise 150,000 naira, and my partner was able to raise the rest of the money. Yes, so that was where the beauty of this common law partner started. So I started thinking that if I was doing this on my own, like as a sole applicant, a single applicant, I would rather forfeit it. I'll forfeit it because it won't even work, because without my common law, I will not have been on that express entry profile at all. So thanks to AOS Group and thanks to my common law partner, I really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate you guys. They helped us submit everything in July 2022, and we were waiting for their reply. You know, we were waiting for their reply from submission to assessment to decision in progress, and lastly to nomination on the 10th of November 2022. And after that, we were waiting to receive our ITA, that is the invitation to apply. So before I move on with my story, let's continue with common law partnership in Canada. According to the case law, the definition of common law partner should be read as individual who is ordinarily cohabitating. After the 1 year period of cohabitation has been established, the partner may live apart for periods of time while still maintaining a common relationship. For example, a couple may have been separated due to illness or death of a family member, adverse country conditions, perhaps war, political unrest, and so on, employment or education related reasons, and therefore are not cohabiting at that time an application is submitted. So, despite the break in cohabitation, a common law relationship exists if the couple has cohabitated continuously in a conjugal relationship in the past for at least 1 year, and they intend to do so again as soon as possible. This situation is similar to a marriage where the parties are temporarily separated or not cohabitating for a variety of reasons, but still they consider themselves to be married and living in a conjugal relationship with their spouse with the intention of living together as soon as possible. All right. So for common law relationship, for common law relationship, the longer the period of separation without any cohabitation, the more difficult it is to establish that the common law relationship still exists. All right. A common law, a common law partner, yes, a common law partner. All right. Yes, the longer the cohabitation. Excuse me. Can you repeat yourself, please? Okay. Hello. Can you repeat the question, please? All right. I said the situation is similar to a marriage where the parties are temporarily separated or not cohabitating for some reasons, variety of reasons, but still consider themselves to be married and living in a conjugal relationship with their spouses with the intention of living together as soon as possible. And for common law relationships, the longer the period of separation without any cohabitation, the more difficult it is to establish that the common law relationship still exists. Is that clear now? Hello, is that clear now? I think she's not. All right, you're welcome. So, a common law partnership can be proved by many factors, like multiple factors, of which some of them are as follow, as you can see on the screen. A statutory declaration of a common law union, a statement of a joint bank account, shared rental receipts, shared credit cards, proof of joint ownership of any shared residential property, shared residential leases, and so on and so forth. AOS will give you the full details if willing to do it. All right. So moving on, AOS Immigration Service. Um, okay, let me continue with my story. We got our ITA on the 23rd of November 2022, and again, we will have to pay about 2,900 Canadian dollars before we could submit our application on the Express Entry. So this time, I was able to raise another 250,000 naira apart from the proof of funds. That was about 6 million naira, with the help of my common law partner and the MMM package. All right. I think you should try the package either as a common law, family, or sole applicant. I didn't really do the MMM this stuff, like the make money and migrate to Canada. I didn't really do it this time. It was only my partner that did it, and we were able to push through with all the payments, including the proof of fund. So all I could raise in our processing was just 400,000 naira from the beginning to the end of the processing. I was able to raise just 400,000 naira. With this common law program, MMM package, and A.O.S. group, I will be moving to Canada as a permanent resident without having a BSc, without going through a study visa or work permit, and with just 2 years working experience, with the lowest amount I can ever imagine. Yeah. A.O.S. group also have some other packages that you can try out if you don't want to do the same thing as me. There are other packages are the JAPA study permit, the JAPA work permit, the JAPA visitor visa, permanent residency, the MMM package I talked about, the TWP package. I think that's tourist work and permanent residence package, and tourist and work farms. I don't really know. AOS will explain himself, and also the proof of funds. All right. So AOS group, as far as I'm concerned, they are very reliable because I have seen more. I have seen some other agents, though I haven't worked with any of them, but some of my close ones have complained bitterly to me about them. I can remember sometimes ago one of my friend called to tell me he was scammed by some people for like 2 million naira. I asked how it happened, and he told me all his agents did then was told him to get his passport first. I mean his international passport, all right. And after that, printed some questions for him in an A4 paper that he was going to like practice and then answer at the embassy. So on getting to the embassy, he was dumbfounded because he didn't even know where to start from. He didn't know whom to face. So he called me. Then he said his so-called agent, he called his so-called agent rather, and the agent's response was that um he should make sure that he was able to answer the questions, all the questions they asked him very well, because he will not be able to join him at the embassy. Oh wow. Like where should he face? Where should he start from? At that point he knew it was scam. Because I myself, I think you need to go to the embassy for Canada immigration, or maybe I should ask Mr. Aziz, is there any occasion whereby we need to visit the embassy for Canada immigration?
Not at all.
Okay, he said not at all. So there is this other one again that actually wanted to apply for work visa, and his agent, the so-called representative of agents, was assuring him that he would get the visa in the work permit in just 3 weeks time, and he would be able to migrate with 300,000 naira. But after getting there, you would have to pay a sum of 40,000 Canadian dollars. Like really, 40,000 Canadian dollars. Kí ló dé, ṣé pààyàn ni? So, and also telling him to put his mother's and father's name on his CV. I was confused. And the worst thing is that all these so-called agents, they won't give you access to your application profile, like your login password and the likes. You won't even know what they are doing on your application. You won't know if they actually applied for you. Wow, that's so bad. But AOS groups are not like that. Yes, I can assure you they're not like that. They will give you your login details and you would see everything they are doing on your application. So if you want to move, or if you want to know your chances to move abroad, the very first help they did to me is by pre-evaluation, and I'm sure that is what they're going to do to you too. AOS Group will help you find out the best programs that suits you while even showing you the best programs that suits you. So if you want to move or if you want to know your chances to move abroad, the very first help they did to me is by pre-evaluation, and I'm sure that is what they're going to do to you too. AOS Group will help you find out the best programs that suits you while even showing you the best programs that suits you.
Sorry about that for those who were not seeing our slides initially. But she's actually through with the presentation, and thanks to everyone for joining. This is where we actually take questions or queries from attendees. If you have any questions, if you want to actually ask about the concept of common law partnership, If you have any queries whatsoever or comments you would like to drop, you can actually drop it on the comment section. You understand, in order to get feedback from maybe me or her. If you want to ask her some questions, you can actually as well ask during the Q&A sessions. So does anyone have any questions you would like to ask? Any questions, any um, queries whatsoever? Any? All right, please do ask. Expecting. Okay, I thought you said you have a question, ma. All right. Okay, okay. All right. Lastly, for those who would like to actually via. Okay. If Mr. Ife Joseph said, how I want to know how MMM works. Okay. That's a very good question. Well, she talked about MMM when she was talking, and she actually just briefed through about through what it was all about. So MMM stands for the Make Money and Migrate to Canada package. Make Money and Migrate to Canada package. And the reason why pathway you could use under the package, the MMM package, is the referral the services or the products of organizations you'd also get to earn from that medium. So the freelance concept is one, the affiliate marketing or the referral process is another one. Likewise, you could actually earn money or you could save money by using what we know as the OPM, which is other people's money. There are a lot of people that don't know that that you could use to as a leverage to assist the person to relocate. So you could understand in relocating. Like in our own case, for instance, she didn't have the funds, but she had all other things that she haded in order to, understand, use to assist today. If you have any questions at this juncture, just let us know. If not, let's round off the webinar. All right. Thanks everyone for joining the live webinar session. We really appreciate to have you, and we can't thank you enough. So thanks once again for taking your time to actually come on the webinar session. We do hope you have learned one or two things from this session right now. So oh, you said you I can't hear nor see you, Mr. Joseph. Sorry about that. I think the network was having some glitches, Nigerian network perhaps. So you should be able to hear right now. I think it should be better right now. So if you have no questions, no comments, you can actually go on our website. I'll put it down again, aosacademy.com, to actually learn more about what we do. Or you could even um, send us a message on WhatsApp, or even call us to learn more about what we do. Understand that, or go on our website, as we said again, aosacademy.com, to learn more. So thank you very much. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit on the notification bar to get notified anytime we drop a content, and also like and share this video with your friends and with your family. So I do really appreciate you joining once more, and do have a lovely evening ahead. So bye for now, everyone.